I'm Lauren Green, and you're in the strategy room. Congress is set to vote in the next few weeks on whether to approve President Obama's agreement with Iran over their nuclear program. A new movement led by veterans is hoping to make their voices heard on Capitol Hill. Veterans against the deal says they are not trying to exploit a partisan issue, but rather tell Congress they are more aware of the enemy than D.C. is. The organization's executive director is Michael Pregent. He joins me now. Welcome, Michael.
Thanks for having me. How are you?
Fine, thank you. So why did you start Veterans Against the Deal?
Well, we wanted to get veterans' voices out there, and we had patriots backing us up, trying to get us out front to talk about Iran, the enemy that we know. And we wanted to make sure that when critics were attacked from D.C. and called warmongers, that we would actually be able to counter that narrative by saying, you know, veterans are the last people that want to go to war, or our military. You know, we train to prevent war, and we train to win wars. So we wanted to get our voices out there because we know what this Iranian enemy is.
So what message are you trying to send to Congress? What exactly do you want them to know?
We want Congress to look at the nuclear deal and question why non-nuclear concessions were made to Iran, specifically with the IRGC and its Quds Force and Qasem Soleimani. You have a terrorist general responsible for the deaths of 500 Americans, more than 500, and the maiming of thousands. And we want the Americans to know that there's no reason Qasem Soleimani should be in this deal. There are 20 individuals, 10 organizations that have nothing to do with nuclear proliferation that were delisted under this nuke deal. And we know these organizations, and we know what they did to finance terrorism in the region and against Americans going back 35 years. So we want to get our voices out there, and we're welcome to be challenged.
But did Iran just make a bad deal? I mean, at least, or the U.S. made a bad deal, or Iran made a bad deal? Who made the bad deal?
Iran got a great deal, and I believe Iran was actually surprised that they could get everything they asked for. We're hearing reports that they would come in with a list of 20 individuals, and our negotiators would say, oh, yeah, sure, we'll take them off the list. Veterans Against the Deal know who these individuals are. They're terrorists. They've been killing Americans for 35 years. Wreaking havoc in the Middle East and North Africa, and they should never have been part of this deal.
You know, some might say that the deal makes Iran, with Iran, makes the U.S. more safe. What's your response?
Well, if you give a terrorist general and his organization money, weapons, and take their charismatic General Qasem Soleimani and let him travel everywhere he's not supposed to travel, then it helps the organization continue exporting terrorism. Iran has a fractured state policy in the Middle East and North Africa. We see them in Baghdad, Damascus, Beirut, and Sana'a. So the IRGC's budget is set to double, if not triple, under this deal. Mm-hmm. I don't know how that constrains them.
You know, you're talking about what they get is Iran receives up to $100 billion of its frozen assets as part of the sanctions relief, and you're saying that's not always going to go to the most benevolent causes.
Well, the thing is, the assets that were frozen as part of the sanctions, the past sanctions, were already related to terrorism activity and illegal activity. So to suggest that if we simply back up or delist these organizations and unfreeze these funds, that they're going to go back into the Iranian economy, that doesn't make sense. It'll go back to the organizations that had the money to begin with, and they were organizations funding Iran's external terrorism strategy.
All right, I want to thank you very much, Michael Pregent. We'll obviously hear more about this in the coming weeks as Congress ramps up to vote on this Iran deal. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
You want to check out foxnews.com for more on this developing story. I'm Lauren Green, and thanks for watching.